Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I am Gareth, and this is The Raging Loop, episode 5. Last time we were about to leave, and then suddenly... so what happened is complicated. We went from where we were fixing the bike to where what looked like maybe smaller rocks than the ones that are in the city or in the main village. Multiple of those. Next to a large tree, looked a bit maybe like it was a graveyard. There was a small girl that was singing, which attracted us to there, and there was also the woman with the white hair that we'd seen at the beginning of the game. And then suddenly, what we saw on the screen was like code almost, or maybe like instructions on a flow chart. Like there was a load of arrows and saying, I don't know, girl, right arrow, behind, left arrow, that kind of thing. So we didn't really know what that meant. And then that happened, and then we kind of passed out and appeared back at where we were at the bike somehow. And then Shiemi was like, "Hey, we gotta go, we gotta go." Took us over to where there was an outhouse. Told us to stay in the outhouse. Um, as the night happened, as it got dark, we could hear a scream. We had a choice to make, which was to either leave the outhouse that we were in or stay there, but that option was locked. We went out and we ended up being killed by what looked like a three-eyed werewolf, and then we ended up actually dying. There was then a tutorial with Mr. Sheep who said, "Hey, you can go back, revisit parts that you're looking at, revisit parts that you've done already, but now that you have this key," and we were given key number 2, which meant that we could stay in the outhouse with where that choice was. It unlocked that second choice. I hope that made sense. Anyway, we survived the outhouse ordeal. We're now leaving the outhouse. It's the next day anyway. Let's go. That was a 2-minute explanation. That was far too long. I never liked seeing night gradually turn brighter as the morning arrives. It always made me feel like shit, like I'd just done something harmful, both for my body and as a human being in general. I found it natural to spend the night asleep and welcome the morning well rested and with a smile. I never expected to feel so much gratitude for the morning light leaking through the door of an outhouse. It felt like the beasts had been out and about the whole night. Naturally, the high humidity here had made my clothes all wet and sticky. It was unpleasant, but even trying to move them and make it more comfortable for myself felt like a matter of life and death, because Shiemi told us to make sure we didn't make any noise in there, so I guess we were worried that we'd make some noise that would attract attention. Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't relax, but hell, it was exhausting in more ways than one. When I heard Shiemi shout, "Haruaki-san," in the distance, I was so overcome with relief I almost fell to my knees. If this turned out to be a trick and I opened the door to see some wolf with a chewed collar in its mouth lunging for my throat, I'd just give up and let it have me at this point. With that in mind, I opened the door. I expected to see the same picturesque village I'd seen yesterday, so what I actually saw shocked me pretty hard. What the hell was up with this thick mist? I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see shit is what I couldn't see shit, and I was expecting to. It was like the entire area was consumed by it. Did someone line every inch of this place with dry ice or something? Haruaki-san! I could hear Shiemi, but not see her. Shiemi-chan, I'm right here. Haruaki-san? Whatever... Ah! I heard a wet sound and finally saw a silhouette within the mist. Are you okay? I'm stuck in the field. I walked up and saw exactly what I expected. A girl struggling to free one of her legs stuck deep in the paddy field. I see. Well, good luck. Hey, help me out. Oh, you can't do it yourself. Take my hand. And out you go. Ah, ugh. I tugged her hand and braced my legs. That was enough to help her. But she lost her balance and... Whoa, safe. Headlock! This is a wrestling move! You're actually pulling it off! Despite how close we were now, this wasn't the least bit romantic. Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. I definitely remembered a time where I was far from alright. Yeah, I guess I am. I had no idea what that was about, so I didn't see any reason to mention it. I did feel like there was some beast outside. Jimmy's expression immediately darkened. She clearly knew what I was referring to. I have lots of questions, but right now I'm more interested in the scream I heard than anything else. That was... you know what I mean. She fell silently. No, she fell silent, clearly uncomfortable. It was pretty ominous. This way. No point delaying the inevitable. I'll just wink at you for a little bit. Jamie gave me her hand. I took it, but I didn't feel the least bit excited about this. She led me down the path to the school dorm. Oh, Fuzieshi-san, you're okay? Congrats on surviving, toilet man. Thanks. Warm futon man, you're okay too. Wait, where's Haru-chan? Did she... Oh, she's fine. She suffered quite a shock, so she's taking a while to get dressed. I see, so the rest of you have already gotten a move on. How did you even handle being in there anyway? Were you asleep? As if I could. I had no idea when I could get out, so I just waited until I heard Chiemi-chan's voice. You were awake? Yasunaga-kun made it sound like that was weird. You try sleeping in there, guy. You can't even sit, much less lie down. No, that's not what I see. I really hate it when people just trail off like that. It makes me way too curious. Why are you here, anyway? Waiting for Haru-chan and keeping a lookout. Lookout? We're not letting anyone near the scene until the situation is clear. Scene? So someone actually... Was it the reporter, maybe? Wanna see? It's a good way to test your stomach. Maki, don't mess around like that. Yeah, I do. The invisible and unknown were way scarier than anything else. Not to mention I could already smell something foul. I lightly moved them aside and walked up to the so-called scene. Uh-oh, there was a corpse. It was in such a horrible state it was hard to recognize it as human. I imagine this was what you would have gotten if you overturned a butcher's cart. That was how thoroughly the victim was disassembled. Also, the butcher would have had to deal in entrails. Enough of that comparison. Straining my eyes to look through the thick mist, I could actually make out some human parts within the vast sea of blood, or mountain of death. Hands, torn clothing, hair, and a shoulder bag. How professional. She kept hold of her interviewing tools even while running for her life. Didn't do her odds of survival any favours though. Despite the body's state, it wasn't hard to tell that the victim was Hisaka Mamiya, the small-time food journalist. Jesus Christ, get your words together. That thing. Did it come to me once it was done murdering her? This is awful. Are you alright? Feel nauseous or anything? Jimmy was standing a short distance away looking at nothing in particular. I got nothing to puke and, well, I'm used to this. Is that what you were studying in college? Well, I guess you can say that. Seriously, so can you do autopsies and stuff? When asked if they study medicine, I guess you can say that is what students from similar departments say to make themselves look good, but I did see a few pathology analyses. I crouched down and put my hands together. Then, grimacing at the harrowing reek of blood, innards, and especially digested food, I brought my face closer. Perhaps I could learn something from this. I could, even if it wasn't much. This corpse wasn't split into pieces. The limbs were still connected, but they were folded in an unnatural way. And really looked flattened. They were either crushed or bent with no regard to bones or muscle position. Then her whole body had been torn apart. The innards were particularly badly damaged. The words wolfed down felt like the best way to put it. I found it hard to describe. This wasn't my job, so there wasn't much I could tell about it without touching it. This is way beyond anything I've ever seen before. I can barely tell what happened here. I had an urge to add that this seemed inhuman, but I kept myself from saying that. Anyway, we should call the police. Leave it to the pros. Uh-oh. That's not an option, apparently. I said something any good citizen would, but for some reason they didn't seem to agree. Haruaki-san, the police won't come. Why wouldn't they? I mean, someone died. They won't. Then let's evacuate. That's not happening either. Why? We have my bike and their van. Anyway, with Fusashi-san, we now have all the survivors, so let's go to the dining hall. We'll wait for Haru-chan. Yeah, you do that. Let's go, Haruki-san. Can I get an explanation? Sorry, but I'm not in the mood for explanations. Figure it out for yourself. It was the first time Shiemi had acted so harsh with me. I was pretty irritated myself, but it must have been worse for them. They actually had info on what was happening here. Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Shiemi said nothing more and just silently walked off. I followed after her. When we reached the plaza, I instantly understood what she'd said about evacuating. The bike and the van were both completely destroyed. The latter was in a particularly bad state. The front window was broken, all 4 tyres were flat, etc. My bike was on its side, its front fork was broken. Well, it was basically scrap metal now. Fuck. There was a rock right next to it. Guess we had our weapon. So that wasn't necessarily destroyed by a werewolf. And there were more remains inside the van. It looked like an enormous mountain of flesh and bone. Oh, right. If I didn't know about Yodai Yashimoto Shi, I'd have assumed there were 2 or 3 corpses here. Oh man, so 2 people had died. Hashimoto-san. Shiemi slowly nodded. I now knew we'd lost not only our 2 lives, but any means of transportation as well. Oh, okay. Look there. She pointed at a wooden electrical pole. The line was dangling, torn apart, with no hope of repair. The other power lines are fine, but the dining halls was destroyed along with the telephone line. We can't contact the outside. I took out my own phone. It worked, but the battery was almost dead. And like before, it was out of range. The situation had become even harsher than before. Look. Look here, too. Shiemi walked a few steps away. I followed after. There was a large boulder. It was tall enough to reach an average roof, and there were drawings on it. Oh, a crimson symbol of some sort. What did it represent? At first it looked like an incoherent mess of lines. However, I soon realized there was a pattern. It felt like the calling card of some street gang. From what I could tell, the basis was a warped diamond shape with a spiral inside. There were 2 of them. They seemed to be drawn in blood, but that wasn't nearly as disturbing as the bizarre shape. The two wolves have snuck into the village. Oh, 2 wolves have snuck into the village. We have to fight. Shiemi made a quiet declaration. Apparently this settlement had been invaded by something malicious, and it was intelligent enough to rid it of all means of escape or contacting help. I could understand that much, but it didn't make sense to me. This wasn't some isolated island. There was the cliff, sure, but you could still go down to Saranaga or go to Kamifuji Yoshi. I'd ask about that the next time I had the chance. Sorry. Huh? Sorry I got mad. It must be hard for you too. Don't worry about that. I'm just an outsider. Don't say that. Oh. Poor choice of words on my part. I mean, I'm an outsider who doesn't know the rules, so I'll just silently watch for the time being. I'm tired, but I think I'm less shaken by this than most people, so I figured it's best for me to stay cool. I imagine even the elders here are more bothered by this. Haruaki-san, are you really just some university graduate? What else could I be? I don't know. You seem way too calm about this, like you're used to situations like this. My nerves are pretty messed up, I guess. The small dining hall was jammed-packed with people. You. He survived. Good morning, though I guess it's not very good considering what's going on. I'm sorry. I didn't prepare enough tea. Oh, it's okay.
You did it, didn't you?
The younger Arobi boy menaced me. No, I didn't. Why would you think that?
Shut it. Where the hell did you get off strutting in like that?
Stop it, Yoshibo. You're the one who needs to shut it.
The hell? You're the one who said this bastard's shady.
Oh. Man, I hadn't expected to be treated this badly. I'm saying this ain't a matter for a brat like you. And you're bothering Kawara-san, right? Takumi-san, please calm down. Let's keep it peaceful. It's fine. We'll talk it out.
Thus, I offer homage to Shinai. The Almighty so peace may come to pass. Thus, I offer homage to Shinai. The Almighty so peace may come to pass.
Stop, Tai-Bai. That's a bad omen. Where's the key to the meeting hall?
I gave it to Uematsu-sama too.
Hang on. I gave it to Uematsu-sama
too. Maybe 3 days ago. Said she'd fix the podium.
Well, Missy?
I'll go and get it. That was the woman.
Oh, that was the woman. So she wasn't just an illusion. Uematsu-sama was her name, huh? I thought our eyes met for a second, but she just walked by me.
Wait!
Meiko-chan, wait here for a moment. That girl was here too. Kiyonosuke was here. Deeper in there was Kiyonosuke Nasatushi, clearly irritated by something. The old man who cried wolf. And not too far away there was the old man who cried wolf. Just like yesterday. It was hard to tell what he was looking at, let alone thinking. They were the only ones sitting, by the way. The others were all just idly standing around. Mum, everyone, we're back. Come in, Haru-chan.
Okay.
The 3 students were here. With them, the settlement's entire population had gathered. As for the outsiders, the journalists were dead, while I and the mysterious girl had survived. I didn't know the circumstances, but they probably had their reasons to be suspicious of me. Suddenly, Shiemi did something unexpected. Rikako-san, can you wait a moment? She stopped the girl who was about to go out to get some key. each villager seemed to call her differently, so I didn't know what to call her myself. Who's about to go out to get some key? Okay. This is Haruaki Fusaishi-san. He crashed his bike and I met him at Saranaga. Oh, hello. An introduction now. Why? This is Rikako Uemasu-san. Uemasu is made of the kanji for spin and end. Pretty rare, right? Well, she's the current head of the Uematsu household, one of the chief families from Kamafujiyoshi. I'm Rukaka Uematsu. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, so she was like a local celebrity, huh? Like Kiyo Nusaki. She's Nasato's family. And that's Miko-chan. We only call her that because we don't know her real name.
Ah!
She like a lamb to the slaughter. Hello there, nice to meet you. The girl they called Miyako was trembled a little bit and... Oh my. Whoa. Sprinted through the crowd to hide behind Rikako Uematsu. So, what do you want to say, Shiame? I suggest not inviting Hiroaki Fusaishi to the feast. Fusaishi-san to the feast. I felt a wave of perplexion go through the room. Gee, that ain't how it works. The feast is there to help us decide if he's shady or not, right? Their expressions were stern and their words harsh. No, I'm saying he doesn't even have the right to participate in the feast.
The hell are you talking about? He's the shadiest of us all.
Yoshi-kun, did you prepare for the feast?
Huh? Yeah, I did.
Who didn't? How was I supposed to react? No one else was raising their hands, but I had no idea what they were talking about. Me, probably. I don't even know what that entails. The other two who didn't prepare for the feast were taken by the corruption. However, Haruaki-san wasn't. I think the Ukami-sama ignored him. Ukami-sama ignored him. Ukami-sama, as in Wolf-sama. Why the reverence? And what was she even talking about? He's from Saranaga, sure, but he clearly just passed by. In fact, I think he'd get in the way of the feast. No, for all we know, forcing him into the feast would just make the Ukami-sama mad. What do you think, Ba-chan?
Did you really survive without preparation?
What was I supposed to do?
Purify, shelter, dream.
Basically, cleanse your body, lock up in a single building all by yourself, and wait for dawn while asleep. I didn't then. I was in the outhouse by myself, but that's it. I didn't bathe and spent the night awake. The place got all noisy. They probably didn't expect that answer.
I don't know. This never happened before.
Tyson sounded genuinely puzzled. What do you think, Rikako-san? I had no idea what kind of dynamics were at work here, but Shiame asked for Rikako Uematsu's opinion.
I consent to the idea. If our great lord Shinai chose to spare him, he must be exempt from the rules of the mountain.
Her words created even more commotion. So there. Shiame, you know what you're doing, right? If we remove him... Yeah, we won't have to waste our hanging for the day. We have to waste our hanging for the day. This is like just the game Werewolf, isn't it? Old man. What do you think? It was roundabout, but in the end, once again, the one to make the final call was Kanzo Makishimashi. He won't be in the feast. Old man. But... Glaring directly at me, the old man walked through the gathering and approached me. Seeing him from up close, I realised just how big and burly he was. It was pretty typical of someone living in a place like this, but it felt out of place on someone his age. His expression displayed both an inner strength to match his physique and a profound rage. If the laws of the mountain don't work on you, it be our rules you follow. If you don't, I'll shoot you dead. He spoke slowly, yet decisively. Man, this was uncomfortable. Hold on. If he can be excluded, I would like the same thing to happen to Rika-san and I. Huh? Why? We're from Kamafujiyoshi. We have no reason to play along with Saranaga's business.
Nosata-sama, that won't do. If you're here on the day of the feast, it doesn't matter if you're Nosata, Uematsu, Meguruma, or Higuchi. Uncle, that mean Yasun and I could leave too. You were both disinherited.
Oh, you were both disinherited. That's different. Why must people that are still part of the four families take part of this idiocy? Listen here, Kyo.
Don't call me that, Moro. Let's go, Rikaku-san. We have no reason to play with these peasants. No, Nisata-sama. Those in Fujiyoshi have a duty to remain present. All remains in the hands of Shinai-sama, and we now gather upon the platter named Yasumiso.
But... If you got a problem, then get out. Let the corruption take you. Key and Asukishi eventually fell silent and Rikako left. To get the key, probably. She returned in no time and everyone began leaving. You're not coming with us. Alright. Where to then? Takumi, is the cage open? Well, yeah. Alright, I'll take him. I'm gonna put us in a cage. Come with me. Everyone went to some hall near the village plaza, while Takami led me elsewhere. We made our way through the tall grass between the buildings. At a dead end next to the wild trees and a rocky cliff, there was a large cage. It even had a roof and would have passed for a hut with a bit of work. This is where we keep the live game we capture. Sorry, but you'll have to wait here. I can't say no, can I? Don't take it the wrong way, okay? You'll be out once we're done with the feast. It won't take long. I can't get any details. Huh? Yeah, I do feel bad about this, but you should be thankful. You don't need to take part in the feast. How was I supposed to feel that way if I didn't even know what the feast was? I'd have asked, but he looked pretty irritated, probably because he wanted to get it over with, so I kept my mouth shut. The floor of the cage was mostly gravel, with spaces of wheat and other things littering about. There was a vague but very clear scent of beasts. Can I lie down here? I figure I should sleep whenever I can. Man, you're brash. No, just a coward. I don't want to die is all. That was why I'd abandoned those people. After Takumi-san locked me in and left, I laid down and closed my eyes. The ground was hard and it reeked pretty bad, but it was still an improvement over the outhouse. I should have taken the time to think about what the villagers had said, about my strange memories and about how I could get the hell out of here. That was what I wanted to do, but I knew that I'd just be swept away by an unproductive spiral of regret if I went down that rabbit hole. Had I always been this admirable of a person? Another thing. For some reason I felt like I'd spend the entirety of this time just watching the battle. So I decided that I'd focus on resting in preparation for what was to come.
Everyone's sitting then. Let's begin the Feast of Yomi Purge. Umatsuma, if you may. This is sacred. Hang on. This is a sacred sake presented to us by Shinai-sama. Please drink it. Sake. Starting from the youngest. It's sake, it's not sake. Sake. You just put your mouth to it. No drinking for you kids. Not like it'd kill me. Stop it, Yoshisugi. You say something too, Yasunaga. Yoshisugi, this is just for tradition's sake. Shut it. I know how it is, Aniki.
I don't want to drink this. Haru-chan, just kiss it. There. Done. And I'm done too. Same here. Chini? Alright. Adult time. Here I go. This is enough for me. It's better than I expected, Moro. We're drinking sake during the day. This feast is something. Here, old man. Don't spill it, Taiba.
I'll have it. Can you hold it, mister? Sake! Ugh.
That's done. Taiba, explain.
You all know the tales, don't you? When the evening mist comes, the Ukami-sama, the wolves, come back to life and try to slay the humans. There were two symbols of the Yamatsu Akami. That means that two wolves have risen. That's why we must do as Shinasami says, and throw feasts so we can find and hang them using the powers of the Guardians. Some of us were given. If we don't, we'll be taken by the corruption. That means dying a horrible death. To avoid the corruption, we must have feasts to slay the wolves. That is our role as inhabitants of Yasumitsu.
Oni-chan, what does slay mean?
It means kill.
Scary.
It's fine. I'll protect you. Sorry for the interruption. Yamawaki-san. It's okay. Children always do that. She's not the only one among us who could be a wolf. Good grief, what nonsense. If that's what you think, then just fuck off and let the corruption have you.
Yoshisuke. Shusugu. Orobi-san, I'm concerned about your son's upbringing.
I'm like this because I want to be. Don't drag the hag into this.
Shut up, Yoshisugi. I'll punch you.
Huh?
Takumi ni? Takumi ne?
I don't know. The hell are you acting tough for?
If I say I'll punch you, I will. You too, Kyo, just shut up and listen. You don't have the guts.
Hear that?
Adults don't let stuff like that get to them. Anyway, Bachan, this doesn't seem right to me. I've been hearing about this ever since I was young, but it never made sense to me. We've been here for as long as we can remember, with the exception of Miko. We all know each other. They've been replaced by wolves. Like hell. They're the same as always. Takumi, you're being naive. What? You're saying there's something shady among us? Everyone's shady.
Oji-shan.
You be careful too, Haru. Even beasts can trick people, and people trick better than any beast. There are things here acting like they're one of us. Why are you so confident? There's truth in what the ancestors said. Well, if you say so. That's just what Yasumisu's numbskulls say, isn't it? Kikomochi.
Again, you irreverent little...
Mochi, stop that. I'm sorry, so what do we do now? What do you mean? We talk and decide, right? Will that be enough? I mean, we're deciding who to kill here, aren't we? Everyone will say what they think. Then we'll narrow down to the most reasonable opinion. Janie, what do you think? I think it's a mess. We already have people who think no one's shady and those who think everyone is. Yammering on and on about stuff that can't be reasonably decided is a waste of time. Besides, in the end, this is just going to be decided by whoever's most influential. What are you getting at? Don't worry too much, Shami. Most of us here are Yasumitsu brothers and sisters. It'll work out in the end. I appreciate that you're being so considerate, but we're talking about killing someone here. Plus, it gets worse. If you don't want to pick someone close to you, you'll choose someone else. Someone you don't like. Or a stranger. Personally, I think you shouldn't let that kind of thing affect your decision. It'd be a grave mistake. Hey, I'm trying to say that killing and all that shit is insane and we should stop it.
That won't do, Takumi.
Bachan's saying the same thing. That's why we gotta talk it out, you know?
I know. I know what you're trying to say, but... Can I? Haruchan speaking. What's the likelihood of the guy Shainee brought being the one who killed the journalists? See? What did I just say? I don't think he did. It's just my gut, though. What about you guys? What about you guys?
Takumi niece, you said he's shady.
Yeah, I did, but like Shamie said, we shouldn't make decisions based on that. Also, the guy's weird, but I don't think he'd do something like that.
I'm with you on that. This is our problem, so we should solve it by ourselves.
Isn't that basically choosing someone based on who you like?
So how do you think we should choose, Kiyonosuke-san?
I believe majority rule is the most reliable method here. Yasunobu Ariba-kun? Yasunege? I don't know. Okay.
Hail democracy and all that. It's not very like you.
I'm merely saying that there's no better way to get the common opinion of this many people. Also, talking it out and making a decision then is basically taking the conclusion most people agree with, no? That's the same as majority rule. Otherwise, like you mentioned, everything will be decided by whoever had the most influence. Who would that be here in Yasumisu? Kanzo Makashima-sa? And god damn it, these words! These names! Kanzo Makashimashi. Kanzo Makashimashi. Tei Yamawaki-san. And who would be killed? Me, of course, the non-local. Isn't that foolish considering the people deciding might themselves be wolves?
Nasato-san.
Just so you're aware, I have no intention of dying. At the very least, I want a method where I have a say in what happens. I'm against that. Majority rule, yeah, you'll get a conclusion, but there's no guarantee it'll be right. I still think talking it out and deciding then is the best.
Speaking of which, what would we even talk about? Taibachan, you said something about the Guardians of the Mountain lending us their aid, right?
Yes. The snake, the monkeys, the crow, and the spider will lend us their aid.
Do you know the details?
The snake? Fart, you know about it. The snake can ask the mountain who's a wolf. There are two monkeys. They both know who the other monkey is. The crow can ask the mountain if the hanged one was a wolf. The spider can ask the mountain to protect someone from the wolves, but only for one night. That's what I've been told too. The wolf has come. I wasn't aware you knew this. I thought you were just senile, but it looks like you're pious too.
Anyway, that means some of us here should have those powers. What do you mean? Wait, do God and the Guardians even exist? Isn't it just some serial killer using old folktales as a cover?
Haruchan, God really does exist.
You just believe he does?
No. All of us must have seen Shinai-sama at least once in our lives.
But that's... Calm down, Haruchan. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry. Whether it's true or not, we should start by putting together what we know. It's too early to decide anything. Let's make the Guardian thing a bit easier to understand.
Can't you young guns remember the old tales better? The snake sees, the monkey holds hands, the crow tastes, the spider protects. The snake can discover the wolves among the people. It's also the guardian beast of the Meguruma family. The monkeys know for certain that the other monkeys aren't wolves. It's the guardian's beast of the Higuchi family. The crow can tell if the one who died was a wolf or not. It's my family's Nasato's guardian beast.
That's pretty sad.
Silence. And the spider can keep the wolves from entering someone's home. It's the Yumatsu's guardian.
Indeed. Each family's crest represents their guardians too.
But how do those chosen by the guardians use their powers?
The snake writes the name of one still living person on something and puts it under the pillow before bed. The next morning, Shine-sama tells them whether it's a human or a wolf. There are two monkeys, and Shine-sama tells them who the other monkey is the moment they're granted protection. The crow is told whether the person who was hanged the day before is a human or not. The spider writes the name of one still living person and places it on their pillow. That person will be protected from the wolves, but only for one night. With these methods, we must use the powers of the Guardians to pick someone to hang each day. If we get all the wolves, we win. If the wolves get everyone else, we lose. It's essentially just Werewolf. I love this game. This is great. Do you understand now? Yes, but where did you even learn this? I heard about it from my Abar-chan. But wait, that means those who have village head family blood have their guardians, right? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, we don't have anyone with the Meguruma blood, disowned or not. I heard that. The Guardians are very fickle, but about who they lend their aid to. Then who are they? If they reveal it, they might make themselves targets for the wolves. We won't get anything done if we can't talk about it, though. You think so? What if... screw this. We're wasting time here. Listen up. My guardian's the snake. Uh-oh. Huh? What? Takumini's... Is that true? Takumini, yeah. How do you even know that? I forgot to explain that. The guardians come when we're dreaming and leave a mark for their chosen ones. If you wish to borrow their power, write it up and put it on your pillow. The mark will give you their answer. Yeah, I had a mark on me. I don't remember the dream, though. The snake sees. Does that mean that Takumi Nichan already knows who are the wolves here? No. As I said, he has to write it up. And he can only choose one person per night. So we won't know anything until tomorrow morning. Yes. Can I ask something, Moro? What is it? Why did you reveal such important information for no reason? What do you mean, why? We have no other information to go on. Based on what's been said, the snake's power is very important and makes you a very powerful asset in the fight against the wolves. So revealing it like you did put you in grave danger. Huh. I ain't scared at all. How can you say that? Did you see what these monsters did to those people? Oh, so you believe in monsters? It was a figure of speech. Anyway, this turn of events has cost us a valuable weapon. Don't just decide that. You don't know shit. Yes, I do. Listen to me, everyone. Anything you say here is free information for the wolves. We should talk things out without overplaying our hand. Yeah? That's true, and it gave me an idea. I'm the one speaking now. Quiet, fool. Yasu, speak. Huh? To make the best use of Takumi's reveal, the spider should protect him. The spider among us, without revealing his or her identity, should write his name down, I suppose, and protect him. That would keep him safe. What do you think? Sounds good to me. Yasu, old man. You'll be safe today. Ask the snake to tell you about someone. You'll be safe today. Ask the snake to... Okay. Whatever he finds out will definitely be correct, right? Right. Takuma Nichan, can you promise you won't lie no matter who you investigate and what result you get? Of course I won't. Isn't that good enough for today? I don't think we can hang anyone without any kind of proof. You sure that's okay? Why wouldn't it be? Just sitting around and waiting doesn't suit me, okay? I know that. Oh, by the way, I think Takumi should tell us who he'll investigate. Why? So if you investigate someone and don't like the result, you can't lie that you actually investigated someone else. What the... I wouldn't lie. That's reasonable. I'd say it's necessary for Moro, considering how sympathetic he is to Yasumisi's inhabitants. He's not that special in that regard. Everyone wants to protect their own, but the situation doesn't allow that. There's another positive to that. We can all discuss and decide who we should investigate first, right? True.
I'd like to talk about that too. Who do you think I should go for, Yasunaga? I'm not too sure, but I think we should start with the one who's most likely to be unjustly chosen to be hanged. That would be me, honestly. I feel as though I can't even speak if I'm not confirmed to be human. You're speaking quite a lot, if you ask me. Then I'll investigate Kyo, is that okay? Fine by me. Then we're not hanging anyone today.
Is that really fine?
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. That's it for today. Whoa, that was a long addendum to that day. I was woken up by several voices. Next time on Borderline Games. Thank you for watching this episode of Raging Loop. It's gone a little longer. My throat is giving out. But I'm going to go resting and have a glass of hot water and honey is what they say, isn't it? Thank you for watching Borderline Games. I will speak to you next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.